Has it really been 27 years since you were consensus All-American, partner?
It's been a long time. I'm getting old.
You ready to roll?
Celebrated a birthday.
All right, he's ready to roll. So are these starting lineups. Let's take a look at them right now. And for Kansas, they're going to start some seniors today that normally wouldn't be playing all that much. Jaden Dawson, Wilder Evers, and Justin Cross in the starting lineup for Bill Self. P.J. Haggerty back in the starting lineup for the Wildcats of Kansas State. He didn't play in their win earlier this week over West Virginia, so good to have him back. Matthew Driscoll, the interim head coach, in the middle of that pile, having taken over about 3 weeks ago from Jerome Tang. 2-3 start as the head coach of the Wildcats, and on the other side, a Hall of Famer, Bill Self, two-time national champion, the winningest coach in Kansas history, and looking for his team to play better than they did on their West Coast swing, Wally.
No question. Worst performance of the year against Arizona State. Really struggling. Darren Peterson at 2 for 18. They're looking to bounce back here. Their last game here at home on Senior Day, game number 16. Tough place to play for the Wildcats, but we know rivalry, strange things happen, partner. The Sunflower Showdown seems to always deliver, so we'll see if K-State can keep this close. And for Kansas, they got to put things together quickly because it's March, and they want to make a run in the tournament.
You saw Darren Peterson not in the starting lineup. That's because it's Senior Day. He'll be out there shortly. One of the most talented and certainly the most talked about player in college basketball for a variety of reasons. Had a good practice yesterday, and looks like he's ready to roll. Tony Padilla, Chris Pacey, and Christopher Merlot are officials. Damari McGriff and Justin Cross set to jump center. And with 15,300 on hand at the Fog, we're underway. It'll be Wildcats first. P.J. Haggerty at the point. They double team him on top, almost a steal for Dawson. And again, they double Haggerty momentarily. 6 to shoot. He'll take it. Three-pointer won't go. Tough rebound. McGriff keeps it alive. Johnson on the drive.
It's like a double foul here on two guys, Castillo and Melvin Council Jr. And how about Nate Johnson, boy? He is a strong man. Gets to the basket right to the front of the rim, gets that first little lay-in. I love the way Bill Self, to start Senior Day, there's Nate Johnson taking to the basket through contact. He has broad, big, strong shoulders. And the way Bill Self allows his seniors to get the start here. Yeah, there's Melvin Council blocking out. Trying to bang with the big man, Manning. A lot of contact there. You got to love that fight. Melvin Council Jr. not going to back down, trying to keep guys off the glass. That's exactly what Kansas needs, because physicality is going to bring it in this rivalry game.
Bill didn't like the call, and he's still letting the officials know that. And I told him yesterday at practice, I said, we'd like you to be around in the second half. He was ejected in the first half against Arizona State the other night. Evers, the senior, going to take a shot. Oh, couldn't get the three to go. Kept alive underneath.
Looked like Justin Cross stepped out of bounds there. Good effort on the offensive glass, though. Evers stepped right into that shot. That's a good look. That's good ball movement by the Kansas Jayhawks. We'll see how many minutes Bill Self gives these guys, because he's got some talent waiting on that bench to get in.
That's for sure. Lob inside. McGriff left hand off the window, won't go. Rebound. White had a hand on it, and then he was pushed. And it's going to be a foul on Manning.
Good call there. Trey White doing a good job. He had the inside position on the angle. And then there you see the contact. Pushes him out of bounds. That's a good job on the defensive glass. White does everything for this Kansas team. The senior can score it. He's had big games. He moves the ball very well for a three-man, and he can also board it.
Manning, 2 quick fouls. And that puts Rapiak on the floor for Kansas State. Melvin Council Jr. count it and one.
Yeah, he's looking to attack, and he really had a big-time game in the first meeting against Kansas State. It was a 4-point game with 8 minutes to go in Manhattan, and then Melvin Council Jr. took over that game, just attacking, getting into the paint, making things happen for himself. There he uses his size and strength.
Free throw, no good. Haggerty on the drive, has to give it up. Three-pointer off the mark, the rebound off to Council. He's going to go to the basket. It's cut off by Johnson. Oh, nice move, spins back.
I like the aggressiveness by Melvin Council Jr. right now. He's got to attack. He's got to try to make things happen. And he's doing a good job getting to the front of the rim. But McGriff has really helped this team defensively. That's what the K-State Wildcats need to work on. Giving up 80 points per game. That's too much. But since McGriff got healthy 8 games ago, the defense has been better.
Iangala, in another senior, going to get some time for Kansas right now. This is not the starting lineup you would normally see from the Jayhawks. McGriff, that one rimmed out. White with a rebound. He's going to go with 3. Too strong. Council, easy rebound. And he's bringing it with some speed. Iangala missed a three-pointer. Kansas State's got to be going, who are these guys we're playing against right now?
Both teams tight. Both teams can't find the hoop right now, getting some good looks.
Feet underneath the McGriff.
That's a good job. Keep McGriff involved. He does all the dirty work on the defensive end of the floor and on the boards. And if he catches the ball around the paint with a foot in the paint, he's a capable scorer, likes to get to that right shoulder and shoot that little left-hand hook. And he took advantage of the nice mismatch right there over White.
White step back 3. Got it.
That's a good looking stroke right there. Gets his feet set off the step back. Good ball movement. Just shoots it with incredible ease. When he plays well, Kansas is tough to beat.
Yeah, whistle and a foul on the drive will be on Evers. And Darren Peterson and company coming in for the first time ever. UFC is live on CBS. Don't miss all the action inside the Octagon at UFC 326. It's tonight at 8 to 10 Eastern on CBS and continuing only on Paramount Plus. So some of the seniors that didn't get a lot of time got about 3.5 minutes on the floor. And Kansas back with more of their normal lineup. Badunga and Peterson. And Badunga gets in the action right away with a block shot.
I don't know what Castillo was thinking on that play. There was no room to finish, and Badunga came into the game and did a good job not committing a foul, just using his length and his size, getting a nice little block. He's an enforcer on the defensive end of the floor. He puts pressure on the front of the rim, and that's exactly what the Jayhawks are going to try to do, get him some Fog Allen lobs going.
Peterson on the drive, and there's the lob you were talking about, right on cue.
The lob at the Fog. Looked like the foul might have come before. Oh, no, they got to give him the and one on that one. Oh, no, they're going to call it beforehand.
Wow. Okay.
I think it was on Peterson as he was making the pass, because Badunga was up in the air looking to finish that one. We saw him yesterday, partner, in practice. He was finishing lefty lobs, 2 hands, right hands. He just told the guys, throw it up anywhere near the rim and I'll go get it.
And he can really run the floor. He can cover some ground. Here he is with a kick out to Council. Council from the elbow. In and out. Rebound to Kansas State. That 3 goes for Castillo.
That's exactly what K-State likes to do. Secondary break transition threes. Those are easy threes when the defense isn't locked in and matched up. And Castillo can knock those down.
White's got an opener. And that one goes again. Trey White back-to-back triples.
Now he's starting to heat up. And when a guy starts to heat up, you can't lose him. He made the first one a tough step back. That one was just a walk into dare shot. Now when he's hot, Kansas got to look to get him the rock the next couple possessions.
Castillo the fake and the drive off the window. Rebound off to Kansas. Bryson Tiller. Trey White heat check. Not that time. Kept alive underneath by Tiller, and then he had that stripped. Everybody hitting the deck. Out of bounds to Kansas. 14:52 remaining first half. Trey White filling it up for the Jayhawks.
He kind of likes that because, you know, sometimes you don't want to have to beat teams when you're up 20, try to beat them by 30, but the net, that takes that into account. So Wob does not.
A week or so ago, Kansas was considered, our bracketology people, to be a 3 seed. They kind of fall into a 4 after back-to-back losses. They are 2-4 in their last 6 games. So they want to make a show here on their final game at home. And he rolled off the basket. Foul out on the floor.
That was really close. It's all about the gather. When did he pick up the ball? There's some high-end contact there, so I think that's where the foul was called. A lot of physicality in this one. So that was kind of the right call, but you can see the strength of Darren Peterson just fighting through those arm bars.
And he got fouled again, and same guy. That's 2 quick ones on C.J. Jones.
Look at the athleticism, the way he can turn the corner. I mean, he just has all the tools, all the skills.
I'm not sure why C.J. is saying I didn't foul him. That was a mugging on the way to the hoop that time.
Exactly.
And another foul underneath.
That was a nice play, and Darren Peterson doing a little thing there. Set a nice little back screen for Tiller to come under the basket. Just make yourself useful no matter what you're doing out there on the floor. And that was a nice little cross screen that got Tiller the ball under the basket. And when Tiller's like a wild card for this team. When he got a stretch in the middle of the season where he was getting 15, 20 a game. He's the perfect complement to Badunga with his ability to knock down some threes. This is his first free throw there. But he has all the measurables. Incredible body, great size, long arms to be a really good complement to this front line.
6'11", 240-pound freshman out of Atlanta, played at Overtime Elite in Atlanta. And got the second. Already Kansas State's got 17 fouls. 3 fouls in the last 8 seconds, as a matter of fact. Nate Johnson. Griff trying to back in. The left hand is good.
That's what he wants. He wants to get over that right shoulder, shoot that little half hook. He had a nice size advantage over Trey White. But it doesn't look like Kansas wants to bring a double and allow those three-point shooters to get going.
Peterson from the free throw line. Off the mark. Tiller trying to keep it alive and steps on the baseline. Will be out to the Wildcats. Kansas State coming off a win midweek over West Virginia. West Virginia, their hopes for the tournament were probably sinking, and it's not like Kansas State threw them a life raft the other night, I'll tell you that much. Beat them by 2. Johnson working against Council. Fade away on the baseline, rims out. And Peterson comes out of the pile with it. Council had a thought and takes the thought, and the shot is off the mark. Kept alive. He's going to get another chance. Top of the key, and got that one.
That can't happen. If you're K-State, you got to match up with three-point shooters, and then when you give up an offensive rebound, you got to talk and communicate. That's just too easy.
Haggerty on the baseline, tough shot.
Yeah, he can do that. That's what he does. He's done his job this year for these Wildcats. Came in here and averaged 23.5 points a game, high percentage shooting.
115 assists coming into this one too, and here he comes down the floor against Tiller on his own. Reverse with the right hand. Would have been a pretty shot, didn't drop. Council in some traffic. White, he's got 2 threes already, that one's short. And it's Johnson with a rebound. Peterson will bring it after the missed 3. All the way to the rack and got it. His first basket.
Yep, he's looking to attack, and that's good. Put pressure on the defense.
And now he comes up with a one-hand steal. Got a man to his left, and it's White for the stuff. Nice feed by Peterson. Trey White caps it off. And it's timeout time. Kansas State, the Jayhawks, have stretched the lead to 5.
Immediately when you get into, normally he's starting, but he got into the game after 3 minutes, and he is looking to attack and make plays. And one thing he needs to do, he's only averaging 1.6 assists on the season. He's a better creator than that. He's got to get his guys more involved with his assists.
There's a great assist by Haggerty and to Manning, his first basket.
Yeah, Haggerty just does it all. You have to pay so much attention to him on the defensive end of the floor because he's always looking to score first, but then he's a very capable passer. That was a nice time he dropped off.
Going back to Peterson and his assists that you were talking about, his season high in assists came against Arizona State the other day, 4. He took the shot and missed the jumper in that case. But yeah, he can, especially with the double teams he draws and all of that, he could be an assist machine if he chose to, but he's a scoring machine, so that's what you get.
And look at the pressure he puts on the defense. I mean, there he got the rebound, or he gets the pass from the outlet, and he has the freedom to just be the point forward and just attack right when he touches the ball.
That one halfway home and then tipped in by Manning. Kansas State cuts it to 1 at the 11-minute mark. Haggerty's going to pull up just inside the free throw line. Had it partially blocked from behind by Tiller. And it'll be out of bounds to Kansas. America's best chefs face off in the ultimate arena for the biggest prize in culinary competition history. We'll take home the $1 million in America's Culinary Cup. New CBS Wednesday after Survivor and streaming on Paramount Plus. Badunga, let's see if they can get him involved offensively. He's going to try it, and he walked. Nice move, but took an extra step in the paint.
That was a really nice move. He's left-handed, and he can do it with both hands, but he wanted to get over to that. Just kind of fumbled it a little bit. Yep. Yeah, that little hop step, little crab dribble. Can't get away with that.
Johnson inside, stripped by Council. And everybody hitting the deck. And still no tie-up. Comes free to Kansas. Council trying to find the handle. Finds it to White for 3. And Johnson will clear off the miss. Kansas State gives it right back. Council on a runner. White tips it in. 10 for Trey.
Yeah, senior day. He's getting it going.
Yep.
He came out ready to play. Knocked down those 2 threes early. And that's what keeps you involved. Going to the offensive glass. I think Kansas can do a better job of converting those offensive rebounds to points.
And nobody home underneath to help on that missed 3. Council looking for a pick from Badunga, and now the lob back to the big guy.
Woo. Are you kidding me? Wow, that was nasty. What a play. Caught it with two, throws it down with one. Two hands. He was too far away to, I think, finish it with two hands, so he switches it to the left. And look at the elevation. Head up at the rim. That is so tough to defend if you're a defender. That was pretty well defended. You are just not taking into account a guy that can leave that far from the basket and still end up getting to the rim.
Nick Johnson's been quiet, only 2 points so far. He's been dishing inside of McGriff, though.
I'm surprised by that call. McGriff really working hard to get low post positions. Had his defender all the way back under the basket. Normally he doesn't like to go over that left shoulder, but that's pretty, yeah, I can see that.
That's 2 on him.
I'll tell you, Shaq would have fouled that every game if they called that one on him all the time. That was his move.
Peterson, they switch off on him, and a runner score it.
Really aggressive. Just he can see K-State's trying to take away his jump shot, take away his three. And he's putting the ball on the floor and showing the toolbox. I mean, he can handle it. He can get where he wants on the basketball floor, make his teammates better. And that little floater's a nice little shot that might get him going offensively.
Johnson, step back three. Nothing but red jerseys underneath. Peterson, the fake in the lane and the kick out. That leaves the three open. Porter doesn't get it, but they'll get another chance. Badunga. Pass got picked off. Peterson triple. Yes. That was pretty smooth.
See how quick that release was? Yeah. I mean, that is just feet set. Ball was barely in his hands, and he got that thing up with really quick, perfect rotation. Starting to get into rhythm here.
9-0 run by the Jayhawks. With 7:49 remaining in the first half. Aaron Peterson getting in the groove. Whether or not he's putting forth the effort. He played 35 minutes the other night. He's playing really hard today, so I got no complaints with him.
And I'd like to see him have fun in a Kansas uniform.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been so much circulating. There goes McGriff over his left shoulder. Missed that one. There's been so much circulating about his injuries, about cramps and this. And, you know, this is March. I would love to see him go on a run with his team and show everyone a little joy playing here at Kansas.
Block shot by Badunga. His second of the night, his 82nd of the season. Pull up three is off the mark. Way off by McDowell. Kisic is going to take a shot as soon as he got in the lineup. He can do that.
He's not waiting. Kostic knocked that down from Belgrade, Serbia. He is out there to shoot threes and only shoot threes.
That's his 28th of the year. Shoots about 38% from out there. And that gives them a little bit of life. They've gone a long time without scoring. And Trey White back down his own rebound and then threw it away.
Yeah, but that rebound hit the back of the rim, came all the way down and landed on the floor. How is no K-State player
at least get a hand on it?
Yeah,
right?
get a hand on it, go after it. I mean, I understand boxing out, you want to box out, but you got to pursue the basketball. And those 50-50 loose balls, those rebounds, those long rebounds, the hungrier player, the hungrier team will get them. K-State better get their act together on the boards, because right now Kansas is dominating the glass.
And some contact on the inside between Manning and Elmarco Jackson, I think. And they're going to call a foul on Jackson. Here's what we were talking about, the games he's missed, hamstring injuries, cramping. Had one game where he had a sensational first half and then basically sat out the second half. That's the one I think that everybody started questioning what the deal was.
And hamstring injuries are no fun.
No.
Those things can linger. I think they did a good job of letting that. Nice little play there by Haggerty. He uses his body so well. Tiller has a lot of size on him, but if you can get your body into the shot blocker, you freeze the shot blocker, and that allows you to get that little bit of room to just sneak it up and in there. And he just has a knack for putting that thing in the basket. It's impressive the way he scores. At 6'3", 6'4", not an imposing body, but just knows how to use it the right way.
Didn't get the three-point plays and missed the free throw. PJ in his 4th school in 4 years. As Council goes up. Looked like he would have got help from that one if it didn't go in, but it did. Haggerty over Tiller, got it.
Mid-range game. When you're scoring high numbers, you're not just doing it from the 3 in the rim. You got the 3-level scoring ability, and that's exactly what Haggerty's showing.
Council with a runner. Melvin Council's got back-to-back hoops.
And the screen set by Tiller and Badunga, they're allowing Council to get into the paint, and that's a big problem for K-State right now.
Peterson switches out on Johnson. Johnson backing in and over Peterson. That was tough. And he got the steal, though. And up and under. He stayed with it.
That's what he does. He was Defensive Player of the Year in the Mid-American Conference last year for the Akron Zips. So he gets after it on D.
Defensive and offensive player of the year. When's the last time that happened in the MAC?
1998. Bonzie Wells was locking me up.
I was just going to say, Bonzie all over you. Probably held you to 10. Council. Melvin getting in the act.
That's when the MAC was rocking and rolling, just like this year. Mid-American Conference with Miami at 31-0. Epic game last night.
We were rocking and rolling watching that thing last night. We had a blast.
A lot of fun.
Had most of the crew with us watching the Red Hawks. Wally's alma mater go to 31-0. Council feeling it. Doesn't get the reverse layup. Kostic brings it down, and Johnson's got an open 3. Again, rebound comes off to Kansas and Peterson. Goes 1-on-2, and you can score it for Darren Peterson.
Yeah, he's got that floater game. That's huge because sometimes you can't finish over shot blockers amongst the trees, and you got to kind of hit him with that mid-range floater, and he's definitely got that last 2 buckets.
Darren's got 9. There's a block shot by Tiller underneath, but he threw it away and threw it right to Haggerty, and then he's fouled by Jackson.
Notice how Darren Peterson's just so under control. Always watching the defense, never too sped up. That's a big thing, especially for freshmen sometimes. Not this year's freshman class. They're doing things outstanding, but sometimes freshmen get a little too sped up and they don't read the defense. Right there on that play, Darren Peterson doing a good job of gauging what's the right shot to take and make at the right time.
Haggerty at the free throw line, a 69% free throw shooter, had missed his last one. I mentioned PJ, 4th school in 4 years, started at TCU, then Tulsa, then Memphis, and now in Manhattan at Kansas State. Peterson's going to get a breather, goes out with 9 right now for Darren. PJ with 7 to go with 3 rebounds. Make it 8. That leads the way for the Wildcats. They keep it at a 7-point game at the 4-minute mark. Badunga inside. Kansas is going to turn it over. Johnson outside. They move it around to Haggerty on top. The drive with the left hand. Badunga might have gotten a piece of that. I'm not sure. There's a foul by Jaden Dawson. One of the, I make that Rosario, I beg your pardon. Rosario with the score, the freshman.
Rosario's got some hops. We saw him catch some lobs in practice yesterday, and he is an active live body, and he showed it on that.
A lot of traffic in there for McGriff. Too much. Turnover. Jayhawks bringing it down. Council the left. Badunga.
Bringing the house down. I'll tell you, Melvin Council is living in the paint, getting whatever he wants and throwing it up to his mate. The big-time finish at Allen Fieldhouse. Gators. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. They struggled a little bit early, had to kind of develop some transfers in Boogie Fland and Xavion Lee in the backcourt. That front court's been dominant all season long, and there's no better team right now in college basketball the way they're playing. They have been on fire.
SEC, another strong conference this year, not maybe like a season ago when they were setting records by how many teams they put in the tournament, but still very strong, as is the Big 12 and the Big 10, the three best, pretty much, in whatever order you're a fan of, probably. Nice feed by Haggerty to Johnson, and Nate Johnson throws it down.
That's exactly what K-State needs to do. They need to attack the gaps in the defense. Right now, Kansas is able to pack in their defense because K-State's not keeping them honest by making three-point shots. And K-State's a capable three-point shooting team. They got to get into a rhythm from that line.
Well, nice job by Matthew Driscoll and his staff on that timeout play, coming out with the easy dunk. Let's see if they can get a stop. They're done good. Nope, they don't get the stop. Flory's got a...
Brought it too close. You got to get him off his spot. When he catches it within 5 feet, he's tough to stop.
Johnson in some traffic. Nice drop pass. And going to be a foul underneath. And McGriff should be going to the free throw line. Coming up on AT&T at the half, our guy, Zook, Adam Zucker, Clark Kellogg, Chris Walker will have their take on our first half. A look at what we can expect for the Big Ten and the tournament, plus all the scores and highlights. Very busy day in college hoops. Those guys have it all coming up on AT&T at the half, which is 2 minutes from now. Kamari McGriff, senior out of Tallahassee, Florida, coming off a big game against West Virginia. He led the team with 18 to go with 7 rebounds and a couple of blocks the other night.
And you can really see how he solidifies the K-State defense. His mobility, his size, his strength. You need rim protection in college basketball. I don't care what you say. A lot of teams like to go small. Bruce Pearl was talking about it when we were in studio last weekend. A rim protector helps your perimeter defenders be more aggressive, play passing lanes, go for steals at times. When you have that goalkeeper, so to speak, in the back that can protect the rim and erase some defensive mistakes.
Rosario the lob underneath. Badunga, the left-hand hook. He just threw that one down.
Really good pass by Rosario.
He gets up high enough. That hook shot doesn't have any air in it. He just throws it through from the top.
Down, you're right.
Haggerty off the window. Nice shot. And he's got 10. Cross court, Rosario, a 3, goes.
Good spark off the bench here by Rosario. Got that tip back dunk. And then that 3 from the corner. He's a live body, he can shoot it.
5 points for him off the bench. Ooh, a lot of contact with Johnson. They finally call it.
Yeah, good pass. Melvin Council. Notice how he gets the ball inside the three-point line, shortens the passing angle to get it over to that corner. And Rosario is ready to let that thing go. It's a good-looking stroke. Kansas has missed some open threes. You know, they've been, knocking some of their threes down, but they've been generating some really good looks on the offensive end of the floor. And that one, Rosario knocked in.
Nate Johnson with a free throw.
I like Nate Johnson's game.
I do too.
19, 9, 7, and 5 steals in their win against West Virginia last game. He does absolutely everything out here for this K-State team, and his defense is impressive. That's what he's out there for. Finishes that three-point play, and they need a little bit more of that D here on this end.
He reminds me a little bit of Bruce Thornton at Ohio State. Because they're both built like football players, I think, or whatever.
Yep.
Here he is, giving it up. That was a quick release three, in and out.
Got to make
with the rebound.
Got to make those. That's Haggerty putting pressure on the defense. Couple swings. You get an open look at three. If you want to get back in that ball game, K-State has to make their open threes. We got a good one here at the Phog. Kansas and Bill Self. I think he's happy with the way the guys are rolling.
Too, as you see the banner. How good do you think these guys are when they're playing well today?
I think they're a scary team for other teams going into March Madness, into the tournament. They're a wild card because if they can put it together like they have in this first half, they are as talented as anyone in the country. And they got a dude in Darren Peterson that can really, do some damage and win you a game single-handedly by himself. I think Bill Self's done a pretty good job piecing things together to have them at a 4 seed. If they can peak at the right time, watch out.
Darren lost the handle, but they're going to call a foul. That's on Castillo, so they've got 4 guys. No, yeah, 4 guys that have 2 fouls each. So Darren's going to go to the free throw line. Freshman out of Canton, Ohio. National High School Player of the Year a season ago. When he's healthy and he's on, and I don't want the Twitterverse to go crazy, but he reminds me of Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
He walks like him.
Yep.
Dribbles like him. He shoots like him sometimes.
Yep. He has all the measurables of Kobe Bryant, the skills. Now, Kobe Bryant was a killer as far as between the ears.
He was a Mamba.
He was. There you go. Exactly. And that's the piece that Darren Peterson has to put together. He's only 19 years old. And that can obviously come. But greatness, it comes a lot in the mind.
Badunga with a block shot to end the half. And a good half for not only Darren Peterson, but Melvin Council and Flory Badunga and company for Kansas on their final home game of the year. They lead by 13 at the break. 46-33 end of the half. Kansas in front. And now we send you to AT&T at the half with Adam, Clark, and Chris. Guys.
All right, Ness, some
showing, attacking the basket. It's showing that he's feeling confidence in his body. And he looks as healthy as he's been all season, and that's a really good sign for Kansas fans.
He and Melvin Council lead the way with 11 points apiece. And a good opening defensive play for Kansas State. Castillo has to give it up. Back to Nate Johnson at the point. Johnson in the lane, got it to go and fouled. A chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, Nate Johnson just smooth, and he did that over Darren Peterson. He's got good length, long arms at his size. Got to his spot, and once you get to your spot, you just put that little fade back, and you can get a good-looking look at the basket. He's been playing really good basketball. He's been solid for this team all year. High-profile transfer, like I mentioned, came over from Akron.
And a good free throw shooter as well, 84%. So he's got the opening 3 points of the second half. That cuts the lead back to 10. Trey White was the hot guy for Kansas early, and he starts the second half the same way.
Really good screen by Tiller. Wide body, it's tough to get around him. And if you're a big man, you can really help your teammate get open if you concentrate and focus on setting good screens.
It looked like it was going to be a good pass, but Badunga was in the way. Peterson triple. Badunga keep it alive, and he's fouled. That's 3 on McGriff, and that takes a presence away if he's going to stay on the court. He's had a little foul trouble now.
Yeah, no Buca.
Right.
Their big man from Italy. He actually played pretty well in the first meeting because with the size on the front line of Kansas, you know, Buca moves pretty well for a big man. He's a little raw and a little green. Needs to improve his offense. He's got a foot injury here today. So they're a little bit thin on the front line, K-State.
Flory's about a 68% free throw shooter. Missed the first. Looking for his 9th point of the game. Kansas on their way to having at least 4 guys in double figures. They've got 3 already, and Badunga's got 9. And 3 ties, some lead changes early, but it's been all Kansas for about the midway point of the first half. Kansas State trying to cut into the lead here early second half. Castillo will try a triple. That one rims out. McGriff cuts him off. And going to have a foul on Castillo.
Yeah, cylinder call there. Castillo got into the cylinder of Flory Badunga. You got to allow an offensive player to pivot and not take away his cylinder space.
Castillo's going, his cylinder's a lot bigger than mine.
That's exactly
right there.
And he's trying to get out of the way of those elbows.
Peterson, little back pedal, mid-range jumper, got it. 13 for Darren.
That's an example of when you have that ball on a string and you handle it the way he does, you can get to any spot you want on the court.
There's the foul trouble for Kansas State. Those 2 guys with 3, both starters. Haggerty missed from the free throw line. Council tips it to himself on the rebound, and here he comes. Trey for Trey.
Good job, Melvin Council, splitting that defense. But Haggerty's got to get back. You got to run back and build a wall from the paint and not go for a steal at half court, because then you're on a power play down a man.
Nice follow that time by Manning. Trey White leading the way for Kansas with 15. Darren Peterson 13. Melvin Council 11. Badunga's got 9. Nice balance by the Jayhawks. Tiller on the baseline comes up short. Nate Johnson in the paint. Nice feed inside. Johnson to McGriff.
Simple basketball. That's what you got to do on the road in a tough environment like here at Allen Fieldhouse. And Nate Johnson's been in some tough environments, made a nice simple play to get his big man an easy deuce.
Badunga against McGriff. I thought he'd back in maybe with McGriff with 3 fouls, but he'll give it up to Council. And thrown away. Nice defense by Nate Johnson going against Peterson on the other end. Whoa. And the blow by and the jam by Nate Johnson.
That was nasty. Peterson wanted no part of that poster. Nate Johnson just exploded to the rim.
Peterson going to try to pay him back on the other end. Can't do it. And Johnson's got the rebound.
This is the matchup I was looking forward to. Peterson and Johnson. Johnson with his strength has the ability to kind of make Peterson a little uncomfortable.
Haggerty backpedals. That 3 hit. Somebody got a hand on it. I think it was White. And now Badunga on the dribble. The lob. Badunga from Peterson.
The foul lob. That's the 3rd one Badunga's caught on that left hash over there. Just attacking the rim, all set up by great angles. The angles that Darren Peterson sets up his pick and rolls with is exactly why Badunga has such a short roll to the basket to get those easy dunks.
McGriff in some traffic and is going to be fouled by Tiller. This is your play, Wally.
I love it. The lobs at the Fog. Look at Peterson. Tight curl around, gets into the paint, knows that Badunga is going downhill for that good guy. Young, too, still only a sophomore, so he's got some developing to do, and Bill Self is really excited about his future.
Kamari McGriff playing with some foul trouble. He's got 7 points at the free throw line. And got it. Started off at UNC Wilmington before heading on to Manhattan. Got them both. Lapiak comes back in for Kansas State, as does C.J. Jones. And McGriff will get a little breather with those 3 fouls after hitting the free throws. And Johnson almost got a steal.
Yeah, I mentioned 5 steals Johnson had last game against West Virginia. So he is looking to shoot those gaps. And right now, K-State is within striking distance. 12-point game. They can't calibrate their 3-point shooting. That's going to have to go down some shots if they want to get back into this one.
Council on a runner. 13 for Melvin Council Jr.
I'll tell you, he's explosive. He can get by his defender whenever he wants. And he's been living in the paint, causing K-State fits in this game all day.
Haggerty hangs in the air, came up short, got his own rebound, and scores it the second time. PJ staying with it. Chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, he's just relentless. That's what scorers do. They make their luck. They make that ball bounce back to him after they missed a shot. And anytime he gets an advantage and they're getting not against the set defense, he just knows how to get that thing in the hoop. It's a big bucket right there.
And he caps it off with a free throw. 13 from PJ. Lead's cut down to 11 with 14 and a half to play. Rosario had 5 in the first half off the bench. Wodunga with Haggerty all over him, and maybe too much. We're going to call a foul on Haggerty.
Yeah, there's a lot of contact there, and you force the official to make the call because Wodunga stepped on the sideline, so you have to bring attention to that contact.
And going to have a foul on the drive.
Yeah, the physicality. K-State's trying to play physical. Anytime someone puts the ball on the floor, there's a lot of contact. We saw the 7 fouls early on in the game in the first 5 minutes.
They had a stretch there where they had 3 fouls in 8 seconds. White 3. Yeah.
That's a big shot. This building he's getting a little quiet, looking up at the scoreboard. 10-11-point game. That 3 stretches it to 14. That was a big one for Trey White.
That's Trey's 4th 3-pointer of the game. His season high 5 against Iowa State. Jones, and he got one on the other end.
That's really good offense there. Good patience. You move the ball side to side. Get your 3-point shooter a nice little rhythm look from the left hash. And C.J. Jones stepped into it and knocked it down. They're going to have to make those when they generate them the rest of the way.
And Kansas turns it over. Wildcats on a run. Johnson had to give it back up. Back out Jones will try another 3. And Trey White is going to be fouled on the rebound. CBS tomorrow. See why over 9 million viewers and counting have made Marshall TV's #1 news show. Luke Grimes stars in Marshall's A New Era of Yellowstone. New episode tomorrow on CBS. Thought Luke was just going to go on and just take care of the cattle and his son, but no, he had to get back with a bulletproof vest on. Son of a gun. The foul was on Manning. That's his 3rd. And substitution. Kostic comes back in.
Yeah, here's a guy that can make some threes. He got into the game. He knocked down the 3 in the first half immediately.
Yep.
They're going to have to try to generate some good looks for him.
Peterson, one-hander, got it and one.
I mean, the attack mode by Peterson and Melvin Council Jr. They are just turning the corner and beating their defender off the dribble whenever they want. And that, in modern day basketball, is not a good recipe for getting stops, because when you collapse that defense, you're going to get wide open shots at the basket. And K-State doesn't have a lot of rim protection. That's why McGriff's coming back in here, because he's their one guy that can protect the rim a little bit on plays like that. But if you're going to give up straight line drives, you're going to be allowing a lot of easy buckets.
Three-point play for Darren with his folks looking on. He's got 16. Haggerty. And
that's a great call. Well done by the official. You can see Haggerty kind of brought out his arm a little bit, little chicken wing.
Right there.
Yep. That was obvious. That's the right call all day long.
C.J. Jones, a little token pressure in the backcourt. See the foul trouble for the Wildcats. Peterson on a runner.
Showing off all the runners.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a really tough field shot that you have to put a lot of work in to perfect that. And you can tell Darren Peterson's put in the work.
Haggerty going against Badunga and draws a foul on McDowell. Watch this little teardrop fall from Darren Peterson on the baseline.
It was surprising, too. I didn't know if he was lobbing it to Badunga or whether he was just making it on his own. And obviously, you know, Badunga was thinking he might be throwing it up. But that was a play that's just knowing how to score. I mean, those type of plays, and you can do that. That's just impressive stuff. And that's what I think a lot of the NBA scouts love about him, is when healthy, he has a big-time feel for the game. He understands the game. He thinks the game. And you can really see that today.
And Bill Self talking with us yesterday and talking about when he's on, and Bill kind of squinted and said, he's just so good. And he's had a lot of great ones here. And when he starts bragging on his players, you know they're good. Draws a double team on the baseline, trying to get rid of it. And he forced out of bounds.
Good job of the officials conferring. The underneath official was just checking if he stepped out first, and he didn't.
Just under 12 to go. Second half. Melvin Council from the elbow. Got it on a jumper. I didn't know if he was going to find the handle, much less hit the shot.
That was well defended. There's nothing you can do there.
Almost knocked it out of his hand. He still hit it.
I know. That was a tough shot.
Haggerty in some traffic. And he'll be going back to the free throw line. Kansas State trying to hang in, but they're trailing by 16 here at Allen Fieldhouse.
We need another team like that in the NCAA tournament. They have a big one against Alabama today. Another quad one opportunity. Let's see if they could take advantage, because they haven't taken advantage of a lot of opportunities in a tough conference.
I got to say, in our seminar the other day, it was pretty fun to listen to Bruce Pearl talk about Miami shouldn't be an NCAA team, your Red Hawks. And your athletic director pretty much said, come on, Bruce.
Yeah, he did. And listen, they haven't lost yet. Big time throw down there by Badunga. Again, another lob. That's the 5th of the game.
Melvin Council is going to pick up the foul.
Yeah, but getting back to it, like, why even let a team lose it when they haven't lost? There's Badunga with the lob. Melvin Council getting to that right hand, and he likes to throw that one-handed lob up. And we said that was going to be a big point of emphasis for Kansas, and K-State has not been able to figure out how to handle that. You know, they don't want to switch that pick and roll and put it big onto Melvin Council. They're in drop coverage, but the spacing isn't good enough to get back to that lob.
Peterson on the dribble, and he's going to be fouled before he could get a pass or a shot away. by C.J. Jones. Jones, another guy with 3 fouls now for the Wildcats.
Technical foul on C.J. Jones also.
He obviously said something down there on the baseline after getting called for the foul. He's trying to explain to his coach.
Yeah, you displace the guy with 2 hands, freedom of movement. You can't do that. He had Darren Peterson under control. I don't know what he said to the official, but that's these officials have done a good job in this game. They really have. It's been physical at the beginning. All these guys are on the same page. We haven't had a challenge yet.
No. So Darren Peterson at the free throw line. So Jones, that technical added, and he's gone. That's actually 5 fouls on him. I said 3. I beg your pardon on that. So they not only have foul trouble, they have a guy on the bench out. So Peterson shoots the technicals, and he's the guy that was fouled, so he stays right there.
Very penal technical fouls like that, because if it's a dead ball technical.
Missed that one. Biggest advantage of the ball game for Kansas, up 20. Johnson got himself in a little too deep, got out of there. And Haggerty almost threw it away. Instead, he'll pull up, take a really tough shot, and got it. Gives it back to Peterson on the glass and against McGriff drawing the foul. Peterson putting on a show in his final game at Allen Fieldhouse today.
And how about the chemistry he's developing with Badunga in these handoffs and these pick and rolls and these lobs? This is something that you need time on the floor together to build this type of chemistry. That was a wink wink. Okay, if a guy's going to overplay me and not allow me to come off the handoff, quick back door, and Badunga was on it. Perfect timing to get Peterson the rock, led to a 3-point play. That type of play and chemistry, it's going to come as this team continues to get more minutes together out there on the floor as a whole.
If they play like this when the NCAA tournament comes around, they're going to be a tough out. And then to call a foul on Marco Jackson, I think that's his 3rd.
Because they are an elite defensive team. They only give up 65 points, which is one of the leading teams in the country. And, you know, 38% field goal percentage, too. That is high level. For me, partner, the most important statistic on the stat sheet is defensive field goal percentage. You have to make teams miss. And that's exactly what Kansas does. They have shot blocking, and they've been locked in on D today.
And showing some hustle today as well. They did not have that against Arizona State earlier in the week. Council working against Haggerty. They move it around Peterson. Quick crossover double. Dribble, and White the 3. Trey White, his 5th 3 of the day.
He's a flamethrower. He's been on fire all day. Senior day, started off with 2 quick early 3s. Yeah, Darren Peterson doing a good job. When you get those feet in the paint, the defense collapses. And Trey White, that's just a horse shot. And how about Rosario? No, sorry. Marco Jackson going up and trying to erase McGriff at the rim. That was an impressive effort there. Good athleticism. He was flying high. Is Marco Jackson on that one.
Even though he picked up his 4th foul, he had the crowd behind him, that's for sure. And McGriff back to the free throw line and got that one to drop. He's 3 out of 5 from the stripe. He's got 10 points in the game. That one rimmed out, and Jackson with a rebound. 78-55 with 9.5 to play. Melvin Council on the outside, 3 to shoot, gonna have to hurry, got it out and got it to drop. Boy, he's become one of the fan favorites here. When they introduced the seniors before the game, this place was going crazy over Melvin Council Jr.
Plays with a lot of heart. I mean, he leaves it all out there on the floor on offense and defense, and he's been a great floor general today.
Johnson on a turnaround. Jumper won't go. Council with the rebound. Peterson. A little crossover, and again. Wow. Everybody kind of lost their shorts on that one, though. As Raft would say, a little lingerie on the floor.
That's right.
Do, man, winning 3 games in 3 days.
I mean, no days rest in between.
No.
I mean, you are around 20 years old,
Yeah,
so you got the young, fresh legs. But it's tough to prepare. It's tough to scout. Coaches just got to trust their guys. Let them go out there and ball and see if they can get hot at the right time.
Jayhawks have hit their last 11 shots from the field. Haggerty trying to give it up to somebody. Finally got it out to Manning. And Johnson for 3. Nate's first 3-pointer of the game.
That's only the 4th for this Wildcats team. I said they make 9.5 average. They just haven't shot it at a high enough level today to hang with Kansas. That's one of the reasons why Kansas is dominating this game. But give Kansas defense credit. They've been bringing it on that end.
And Kansas knocks down the 3 on the other end. And that is Jaden Dawson, one of the seniors we just talked about. That's only his 12th 3 of the year, but I'm sure on his last game on this floor it fell off for good. And we're going to call a double dribble. Ball over to Kansas. Holding on to a 25-point lead with just under 7 minutes to go. Flory Madunga, a big reason for that.
The lobs at the Fog. There's been plenty of them. He was practicing them yesterday, and his teammates were throwing them up there today.
And big smile on his face. I said, Trey, come here. Yesterday at practice, I said, I got to look at your ink, man. There's some artwork on your right bicep. And one of the most famous poses of all time, Muhammad Ali has his knockout of Sonny Liston in May of 1965 in Miami. And, man, that is some pretty artwork. So Trey and I were talking tattoos yesterday.
Yeah, it's a perfect carbon copy. What an image. It represents big-time stuff.
And big-time 3 for Marco Jackson. So now they got 10 threes on the day and a 28-point lead. Nate Johnson, deep ball, In and out. And out to Kansas. Tough year for Kansas State. A coaching change about 3 weeks ago. They're going to be 12-19 when this is over. They'll also be 3-15 in league play, and that's the worst ever for them in conference play. And the guy we're just talking about getting a standing O from the fans here, coming out, playing his final game on this floor, and he had a good one. Darren Peterson leading scorer right now for both teams with 25 and high speed inside. So another assist you can chalk up. Drive by Haggerty, who never gives up. That three a little bit short. Johnson bringing it down. They got numbers. Castillo, the three goes.
That's what they need, more of those. How about Darren Peterson's running the point here right now? Doing a really good job showing the full skill level, handling the rock, orchestrating the offense.
Showing more of his versatility for sure. Calderon in the lineup as Kansas has some guys in there that don't see a lot. There's another step on the inside, and that's Mbia.
Mbia taking over for Flory Badunga.
Badunga, whatever, but dunk on you.
Yes.
Haggerty fadeaway jumper, got it. He's a really good player. Kansas closing in on 100. Trying to get the big fella another one. And he leaves it in the lane for Peterson. 27 for Darren. Haggerty throws up a three. 4-minute mark. Crowd's making some noise. Whoa. And there's going to be a foul on Manning. A hard one.
Grown man foul. And Mbia taking that ball and finishing strong. Gets in the game. And that's what you do. You get around that hoop. Bring it down, and Peterson smiling, looking happy. Good. You
wanted him to have fun.
Yeah, let's go. 4 games at home. This Wisconsin team, they've been the giant killers. They have some massive wins, including a win at Michigan. So when they get their three-point game going, that's going to be a high-octane, high-scoring game. And Purdue needs to start playing some defense. At a 3 seed, I don't know. They are leaking a little bit of oil coming in here into March. They were preseason favorites to maybe win the national championship, and they do not look like they're playing their best basketball of the season.
Calderon got 1 of 2. Freshman seeing some time here in the late stages of this game. Johnson, long three, showing some range. Nate Johnson, another great game for him. It's going to be in a losing effort, but he and Haggerty have not quit, that's for sure. Nice drive. Kind of a blow by that time by Jackson. And now we're going to see a few more bodies coming in for Kansas. Justin Cross coming back in, one of the seniors, as is Wilder Evers, who started the ball game. And Melvin Council still out there, another senior.
There we go, letting the seniors look like finished.
Looks like that's what's going to happen.
Oh no, Dawson came out. Calderon's going to stay in.
.20-point game for Nate Johnson. Came in averaging a little over 12 a game. Their leading assist man. And he has played just about every minute today.
Playing with a lot of confidence. He said it. He just walked into that deep three. Even the shots he misses, they're in and out. Always in the right spots. Just a solid veteran who's had an outstanding career in college basketball.
Oh, there's a three that the crowd was waiting for. Wilder Evers, the triple. His second of the year, by the way. He'll remember that one forever. Nice drop step, then a chance for a three-point play for McGriff on the other end.
Yeah, he sent this crowd wild with this one. Wilder Evers off the dribble. Looking confident. Look at that. Putting the glasses on.
I love it.
Crowd loved that. And look at, this is good to see this Kansas team unified with all the injuries they've been dealing with, the Darren Peterson situation. I asked Bill Self, what's it like in that locker room? He said the guys get along great. You know, they just need time out there on the floor together. And this type of performance can give you a lot of confidence going into some really tough matchups in the Big 12 tournament and then the NCAA tournament.
McGriff with the free throw. We're at the century mark, a 25-point lead for Kansas. Their top output this year was an overtime win over TCU, and they put up 104. So for the second day in a row, we're watching a basketball team with 100 points. The other one being Wally's Redhawks, who put up, what they end up with, 110 last night?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it was 109, 107. But it was 100 in regulation. You called it.
I did. Well, about 8
First
minutes
to 100
ago. I said
wins.
first guy to 100 wins, but I didn't know that they were going to score 100 also. So we had to go to overtime. Man, you talk about a bunch of guys having a blast watching a basketball game.
That was fun last
That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Castillo on a little step back jumper, didn't get it. Johnson working against Evers. Has to give it up. Hostage got the three. His second one of the ball game.
And K-State might want to get him some more looks, because anytime he rises up and lets that thing go, that was a tough one off the dribble. He's got a sweet stroke.
And a foul. Tipped in by Trey White. Trey's got 23. Peterson left the game with 27. By the way, for those of you that wonder how many minutes he played almost 30 there in Peterson, and he's not on the floor because the game's been out of hand for the last 20 minutes or more. 102-78 with a minute 28 to go. So that'll set up the tournament bracket for Kansas. By winning, they're going to move over into back-to-back bye situation, a double bye situation. And now Melvin Council is going out, and so is Trey White. Big round of applause. I'll tell you what, Melvin Council's made a lot of friends here for a guy that came in after being at 3 other schools before he got here. They love him. Started off at Wagner, then Monroe College, St. Bonaventure. And he's just one of those personalities that fans can't get enough of.
The out-of-bounds call on the floor is being challenged by Kansas State.
Officials over the scoring table while they're...
Yeah, that left hand just hit it on Trey White. Good call.
So Wildcats will inbound under their own basket. Yeah, this guy needs to be on the floor more.
You think? I mean, they struggled shooting the three the whole game.
Yeah, they could have used him.
Only
a long time
3
ago.
in the first half, and he has 3 in his limited minutes, and he looks like he's locked in.
Ngala going in, had his shot blocked. We're under a minute to go. And this time he'll try it 2, but he's going to do it from the free throw line.
This is Adam Zucker in New York. You can see the finish of Kansas State and Kansas on CBSSports.com. And for those of you tuning in for Wisconsin and number 15 Purdue, we'll get you out to West Lafayette for tip-off.